There you are. I knew you'd show up. Man, you brought some friends with you, didn't you? Hey, good to see ya. Hey. I'm John Zidar, aka the Stock Wizard. This is On Top and Hot live, where you never know what's going to happen or not happen. That happens a lot around here, or doesn't happen around here. You get my drift. So what we like to do on this show is look at hot penny stocks, except I'm not bringing them to you. You're bringing them to me, right? So whatever happens, really don't blame me for all of it. I'm just a spokesman here trying to do the best he can after a long day. And what a day. Oh my God. This is Thursday. We were supposed to hear something about rate cuts. I know we weren't probably going to get one, but I got lost in the day. There was information coming from different places. I do believe Powell is gone. I don't think Powell is our Fed man anymore. Something's happened to him. He's gone. So the market took a big run in the morning, big drop the rest of the day, and then a lot of sideways activity. I lost a lot of money in the morning, made it back in the afternoon, and struggled to hold it at the end of the day. But I did break over green, so we're feeling okay today. So we have got some stocks to look at here, folks. I've got them from you. You guys are responsible for all of these. Kashera, Mark, Velmore, the Underdog, my group, my posse. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, we'd be sitting around here waiting for people to show up. Speaking of waiting for people to show up, I have done due diligence on 6. Now, I used to be able to get 8 done when Taylor was here. She did the charting. I did all the rest. And we'd get 8 done. And I'd do due diligence on 6, and I'd leave room for 2 that we could pull out of what came during the show. And I think the reason that was happening was because I wasn't given as many details. We were covering information, but not getting so detailed-itis. And I think that's where we get stuck. Not to mention I talk a lot. But look how fast I talk. You get a lot for your money when you listen to me. Take a breath every now and then. All right, so I do have 6 stocks all lined up. I've got information lined up. Basically, we're going to try to roll a little better here and not be so stiff-necked. I think I'll do a little bit better that way. So can you guys hear me? Let me get to the very bottom. It's Fire Eyes. Boom. Glad you made it, dude. Hey, if you have to go, it's okay. We're going to record this just for you. Stephanie Spear is here. Great to have you. We got people coming in just at the bell. I love it. All right. Not to waste your time, let's get this set up. Make sure I got all my buttons set up here for you. Yes, we'll get rid of that little guy. And we will come up here. We're good to go. And naturally, I've got notes. Now, I did have another ticker I was supposed to look at. Someone gave it to me on Twitter. I think it was like on Monday, maybe Tuesday. I think it was Monday. And I promised them I'd put it in the queue first. Well, I had it saved, but I didn't save it properly. And darned if I can find it. So whoever you were, you probably know you're cursing me right now. I don't remember you. I don't remember the ticker. So we didn't get that done. My apologies. Sorry. I did have sincere intentions. So we're going to move on to Mark Ryan's choice. Mark Ryan is my pal over at Penny Boys. Don't mind my spelling over here. Don't mind any of my spelling anywhere, please. We are looking at PYXS Oncology. PYXS Oncology. I want you to take a look at the chart before we run into it, just so you have an idea. All right, that was her day today. Big rip in the morning. Big fall in the afternoon, just like I was saying, the big market, the ETFs were doing, SPY, Q, the Russell, and then sideways. By golly, are we sure? I had to look and see if this was the Russell. That's really a lot what it looks like. So that's your chart for the company. Coming back to OTC markets and my notes. This is a clinical stage biopharma developing therapies for difficult to treat cancers. Now, that's not because they have a big heart and are trying to help people who have these special problems. It's because there's an open market. When you have unmet medical needs, that means nobody's out there competing against you. So if you can come up with a drug, not only are you making all the money, but you're getting through the trials faster. Trial 1 is a year to see if you're safe. Trial 2 is how good do you work? That's 3 to 5 years. And then trial 3, that's putting you up against your competitors. That can take a while. How many competitors are there? But if there's none, fast track. orphan designation. You get on the market quick. So that's what they're focusing in on. And we're not going to go a whole lot into their pipeline. They've got a drug that they've got information coming out on right now that's in phase 1, just coming out of it. That's to see if it's safe. Does it kill you? Do you get chronic diarrhea? You know, is there a problem with it here? Let's not go any further. No, I think we're safe. Literally, here, let's move on to phase 2, see how well it works. So it's going to be a few more years. So let's not get too excited. Usually when these companies come out with news, there's a big bounce on the chart because they haven't heard anything in a long, long time. But because it's going to be a long, long time before they hear anything else again, it comes right back down. So when you see these, and normally they come out first thing in the morning, you got to be very quick to grab these. Take your gains. Don't be thinking it's going to run and run and run. Unless it's some miracle cancer cure they just came up with. You could get a few days run out of that. But sooner or later, they do come down until they start making money. We have low daily volume today, decent share structure, and the only filings to really consider are their financials, which you should always consider. That's where all the due diligence should be done, is in their most recent financial. Forget about Google, forget about news presses. Just get into the financial because they cover everything in there. And to make it easy, use the search bar. Put in a date, 2025 or March or whatever, to find what you're looking for. Boom, boom, boom. You can find it real quick and easy, no matter how many pages there are. So let's get this ticker over here. This is PYXS. PYXS Oncology in America, Massachusetts, finished today at $4.55. So I think she broke out of Penniesville today. She did come back in. I don't know if she's checking her mail before she leaves. She was down about 0.5% today, which is about 2 cents. Now, this is a penny stock on the major exchange. All you need to be a penny stock is be under $5. Doesn't matter what market you're on. Just be under $5. But there's differences. Penny stocks on the major exchange come with benefits compared to penny stocks on the OTC. Like you get to trade them for free. There's no transaction fees trading major exchange stocks. Most of the time there is with OTC. That's tough to scale in and scale out, and you got to pay for every transaction. You can also trade these pre-market, aftermarket. Can't do that with OTC. And some of the biggest money profit times you're going to get are during aftermarket and pre-market, because the stock is not being halted when it gets too hot or gets too bad. It'll just keep going up or going down until it runs out of gas, and you'll get some serious runs in there. Never get that opportunity with OTC. There's a lot more money, a lot more volume, and a lot more rules up on the major exchange, which all play to our best advantage. Now, those rules aren't for us. They're for the companies. Keeps them honest. Keeps our investment safe. So what do we have for this company? Well, let's take a look over here at the news first. News. PYXS Oncology reports inducement grants under the NASDAQ listing rule. You know what inducement grants are? You'd be amazed how many people don't. I didn't. Inducement grants are bribes, basically, to get big executives to come on board. It's an upfront payment, a whole bunch of shares. You come work for us, you can have all these shares once you hit mile markers. Boom, boom, boom. You get all these shares. They brought on a new senior vice president. They are presenting translational data for their drug, which I have a hard time pronouncing, coming out of phase 1. They have provided business updates and report third quarter financial results. We're going to dive into this real quick. PYXS Oncology expects to report preliminary data from their ongoing phase 1 clinical study of microvoltibart in patients with recurrent metastatic head and neck squamous cell carcinoma. It's some sort of cancer. As of September 30th, the company had cash and cash equivalents of about $77 million, which is sufficient to carry them to the second half of 2026. That's what you want to know, because at that point, they're going to need money. They're either going to get it from us or some big investors, but there's probably going to be more shares put on the market, which means more dilution. So up till the first half of 2026, they really shouldn't be putting any more shares on the market. Fingers crossed. Anything else? Yeah. Their drug is a first-in-concept antibody drug, and there's a lot of information there about why it's first and what it does if you're interested in all of that. Take a look at their disclosures. As I said, there's really nothing over here to consider. They're over a month old, except the 10Q, that is your quarterly report, and an 8K, which always comes out with the quarterlies and the annuals, which is an easier read. Not much, but it's an easier read. You need to dive into those if you're going to be doing your due diligence. Relative volume for the company is about even keel, right? We're doing about 830,000 shares a day on the major exchange. That's under the radar. You want to be doing at least 1 million, right? Be respectable. We ain't done that today. We're at 722,000. Share structure for PYXS. We got about 62 million shares outstanding, which is respectable. Anything under 100 million is decent. I don't know what the insiders own. I'm presuming they own something. Subtract that from your outstanding share count. That's going to give us our restricted shares, the float, what's on the market. Not knowing what the insiders own, I don't know what the float is, but I do know it can't be any higher than the outstanding share count. Can't be more than 62 million, which is okay, but it could be considerably less. The insiders own a lot of shares. Market cap, we are just over $250 million right now. Financials. This is basically a research and development company, but they've got money coming in from somebody or somewhere. I don't think they have any products for sale. I think they're getting money from somebody like investors or license fees or consulting fees or something like that. We've got nothing here for 4 years, but 2024, we did get $16 million. Got to add 3 zeros behind any of the numbers in these charts. They got to keep 15.5 million of it. Quarterlies, we've got 1 quarter here where they got 2.8 million. They didn't have to pay anything for it. I have no idea why they're getting this money, but as long as they're getting money, I'm okay with it. You can also come down here and look at this line, additional income. You can see if they're getting money somewhere else. They're getting some money here too. That's not listed up here. That's not added in. That's additional money. So as long as they keep bringing in money, research and development companies, I don't care if they're getting it from their crypto treasury or if they're getting it from wherever they're getting theirs from. As long as they don't get it from me, I'm happy with it. Balance sheet for PYXS. Cash and cash equivalents. We like to call it the bank. We got about 10 million in the bank. Total assets is 105 million. Total liabilities is about 1/3 of that, which means we get 2/3 of that as stockholder equity, $69 million stockholder equity. That is for us. You want to figure out what the stock is worth? You could divide all the shares into that price, and that would give you close to $2. You don't like that price. Well, there's other ways to figure it out. That's just one way. So that gives us all the information, I do believe, about PYXS. Yeah. So let's go take a look now at the chart, which I've already given you a sneak peek at, and you're still following me. Over here is the hottest stocks right now, moving at $20 from 001 to $20. I just keep it there just because I'm used to having it there. And down here, this is going to follow me. I'm going to match this up here with that number, red one, and they'll be the same. But really, I'm just keeping this so we can see the long chart. I like to keep the long chart in my mind because I look at a lot of charts and I forget sometimes. This is the short chart for PYXS. Let's take a look at that long chart going back a year. That's a 4-hour chart here. That's what I consider long, but that's your year chart right there. Gee whiz, is that the day it came on the market? Let's see if we go back 2 years. No. So that was right there. We were right there. So 2 years ago, interesting chart. We were at 685 when she came down right to the apex of our rising 200, where we just saw right there on the year, 1 year ago, we were at $4.06. Right now we're at $4.53. She took a huge drop all the way down to initially $1.82 and then dribbled down to 83 cents. And off of that, she just went sideways, bounced off of our 200 haul, which we're in a 200 squeeze there, are we not? A falling 200 MA, a rising 200 haul. Price is right there. And once it got up on top of the 50, that's when it decided to jump to the 200. That's when you get your power. When you have the price between two 200s, the 200 MA and the 200 haul, HULL. When the price is between the two, on top of the 50 or above it, when that bottom 200 haul is rising, look for the price to run to and through the 200. Now, in most cases, it will come down and bounce. It did not here. It did not. It just kept flying, folks. We're talking for months. This is all the way back in September. She's been climbing for 3 months, right? We were down here at $1.42. Right now we're hitting 520, pulling back to 453. That is on our 2-year chart. That's looking pretty bloody strong to me. Let's come on down to our 6-month, 4-hour view. Kind of looks like what we were just looking at, right? Everything is climbing. Everything is pushing up. Everything is doing what it's supposed to. We have a low bubble in this corner, 79 cents. High bubble in that corner, 511. She is looking excellent. We don't have any extra volume to actually talk about. It's just steady. It's regular volume. Our oscillators are showing a little bit of heat, but nothing strong. I mean, it's just steady. That's all you can really say is going on here. Take a look at our 20-day 1 hour. Every time we look at it, it looks good. It does. We've always got the low bubble in this corner, 317, high bubble up here. Our 200 is rising. Our price is basically riding all of the MAs. She's hanging on to the 50, but she's using them all. That's great. We're getting opportunities to make money on the bounces, on the climb up. But even for a swing, this is looking excellent. She's been climbing for 3 months. Our oscillators right now are cool. You know, there's been fall this back half of the day as she's hanging around the 50-day MA. Even when she comes under it, she comes back up. You know, she hangs around the neighborhood on the wrong side of the track sometimes, but she's around. Let's take a look now at our 5-day, 5-minute. She is still in an uptrend. Still got our low bubble on the left side, high bubble on the right side, looking good. Steady incline. She's climbing slow. We had a nice big rip today. Went from 455 to 511. I don't know what the percentage there is, but that's a nice jump. But then she came down hard. But she only came back to the 200. So it's not like anything bad happened. This was a strange rip. So she just made things normal again. Now she's come back down here, but it's not like she doesn't come underneath the 200 and just go back up. Now she is falling. So I'm not going to presume she's going to come up. Right now, I see all of my MAs are falling. My 200 MA is rolling down. Our price is underneath every single MA. You can't climb until you're at least on top of the 9. We ain't there. And after hours, she's still pushing down. So right now, things don't look very good for the stock, but there are things going on with the stock. We've got equity in the stock. She's had volume in the stock. Was she have volume in the stock? I need to take a peek here. Let me see what her volume was today. No, she has not had volume. She has not had volume. So I really don't see a whole lot of catalysts. We've got a phase 1 drug. It's going to be a long time before you hear any more news about this. She gets into phase 2. That'll be the next piece of news. That'll just be a hiccup. So honestly, personally, I'm a little biased towards research and development biotechs because there normally isn't a lot of run. And the run normally happens so early in the morning because that's when the news comes out. I miss it. I've got so many other things I'm doing. I just miss it. So I don't really pay attention to them unless they're big, hot cancer news. Anything that is beating the hell out of cancer and getting ahead of it, that's what I'm going to look at. But if phase 1, phase 2, no. I want phase 3. End of phase 3 or a PUDFA. That is a license fee they pay to the FDA to get their drug on the market. It's just another way for the FDA to make money, another stall tactic to keep the drug from getting on the market. These are the sort of things I look for. But there you go. Okie dokie. We're going to just fly into the next one, folks. Just keep some momentum going here, okay? Let me make sure that you haven't got any comments over here I'm missing. GRLT plus 43%. Yeah, I bought into GRLT. They had that merger with Primera or whatever it is. And I bought a couple 100,000 shares of it, averaged down on it. Been waiting for it to come up. I'm glad to see somebody else is watching it. Thank you, Espresso. Who else we got here? Boom Chicken. Boom Chicken. I like that name. All right. Let us now take a look at Belmore's choice. I do believe that's right. Yes, Belmore's choice is MSPR. Just easier to copy and paste, ain't it? The way I type? Yeah. So this is MSPR recovery. Let's take a look at the chart so that you can get a feel for what's going on with her. Get both of these changed. There's your long chart. Open that up a little bit more for you. And there's your short chart. So she's kind of been in a downtrend on the short chart and a downtrend on the long chart too. So let's see what is up with MSPR. What do my notes say? MSPR Recovery is a healthcare collections and protections company. That's right. If I'm seeing this company right, it's a little strange you're playing both sides of the coin here. What it looks like is they're a collection agency for healthcare organizations. People that pay for your healthcare, we got to pay deductibles. So this company does two things. They go out and collect those deductibles. The money that we owe them, they're going to get that from us. They're a collection agency. They also help these health insurance companies deny claims. You ain't got to pay them for that. Heck no, don't do it. So they do that for the companies as well. But they also have lawyers for the consumers who want to appeal these decisions by the insurance companies. So that puts this company in a very unique position, right in the middle, to know who's being denied and who needs help. Isn't that a conflict of interest? Seems awfully strange to me. They had super low daily volume today, a little worrying. But that's right. I got this note in the wrong place. Super low daily volume. That is concerning. Very low share structure. That is not going to be for long. We've got some filings I got to share with you. A lot of them. We'll just kind of flip through them quick. Revenues are what the? You're not going to believe these revenues. And I couldn't find any information here. I had to actually go do a Google search. Palantir is partnered with this company and one of their major investors. Let's see. I did. See, I kept this here just for you guys. This is what I'm thinking. MSP Recovery, now known as Life Wallet, has a strategic partnership with Palantir Technology utilizing their Foundry platform. Since 2021, it appears. They also say that Palantir holds a significant ownership in the company. That's all big news. And I would have missed that, except when I went over to their website, they had flashed it up on the very top of their website. It's like, ooh, Palantir. People need to know that. What else did I have over here? No, not that. This over here. Right, that was it. So let's take a look at this stock. MSPR, another American company based out of Florida. She finished today at 41 cents. She was down about 9%, dropping 4 cents today. This is a penny stock on the major exchange. She's on the NASDAQ. Now, this company is working here in the United States as well as Puerto Rico. Now, just so you can see what I've seen so that you can understand why I'm thinking this. MSP Recovery is dedicated to maximizing recovery efforts on behalf of the health plans and management service organizations, providers of medical services, independent physicians, their collection agency trying to get money for people. MSP Recovery proprietary IT system discovery claims you should have never paid. So they're telling these companies, we could have saved you money. These are claims you didn't need to pay. We could have helped you here. And then MSP Recovery specializes in recovering reimbursements by pursuing responsible parties under the Medicare secondary payer program. And then they go on to tell you over here, we have a trusted lawyer referral service, connecting clients and attorneys through secure data-driven platforms. So they're helping the healthcare industry and they're helping the consumers who need help with their healthcare. So they're doing a lot there. Like I said, it sounds like a conflict of interest to me, but maybe it's all legit. And this is where I saw their information about Palantir. It just came up across the top right like that. So what do we have here to talk about? Let's take a look at the news. We got two pieces of news. The company had to do a reverse stock split, which is now giving them a very small float. The reverse stock split was a 1-7, and that was done on September 1st. So we're all done with that. We don't have to worry about it. That was to help. I just saw it. That was to help the minimum bid price get up over $1. So obviously 1-7 isn't very big, right? They were under $1, whatever the price was. Just going 7 times isn't going to put them very far over $1. Chances are they didn't have a lot of shares to start with. They couldn't do a big reverse stock split. And look, we're back down to under a blessed $1, folks. This is horrible. AREB did a 1 in 20 reverse stock split from $1 to $20, and it's down to $1 again. We are doing this. I don't know if it's shorters doing it to us or not, but boy, oh boy, folks, this is what kills us. Having reverse stock splits and then having them fall back down underneath these places, that just compounds losses. I have lost tens of thousands of dollars because of these reverse stock splits that fall after the reverse stock split. It is killer, folks. Now that I got that off my chest, what was the other piece of news here? Well, there's their outstanding share count. Since we're talking about their shares, we are currently at 3 million. All right, now we're at 41 cents. Yeah, we could do a 1 in 2, a 1 in 3 reverse stock split, get this up over it. Now, we've just got it up over $1. I'm presuming that satisfied the NASDAQ's problem with us, but now we're under $1 again, so we're going to get into hot water again. We're going to have that problem again where we're going to either have to do a reverse stock split or go down to the OTC. And we may not have enough shares to do it, folks. So this is getting a little bit desperate now for this company. However, we're going to get to that in just a minute. Taking a look at the other piece of news here, MSP Recovery announced a strategic term sheet providing prospective liquidity and working capital. All right, I want to dive on over to these filings over here, and we're only going to flip through these very, very quickly. We have 3 million shares right now on the market. Each one of these 424Bs or whatever they are more shares. We have 909,000. That's only 909,000 shares that they're going to be putting on the market, but they have 755 million warrants to buy shares down the road. And I haven't looked deep to see when these warrants can be activated. So there's 755 million plus another million right there. Here's 236,000. Okay, so there's 755, 756 million. Come over here, this another one right there. It's not a lot, but there's 32,000 more shares there. Here's another one, 56,000 shares. Another one, 285,000 shares. All of these are deals that they have made where they need to catch up and give them all to all these investors, companies, whatever it is they're doing. Everybody gets a piece of the pie, and that's their piece of the pie. The company makes money, gets their investors, we get dilution. So all of that, all those shares are coming. Now, I don't know when those warrants are coming. That's the biggest one. Obviously, the biggest one. There's probably 4 or 5 million shares as it is, but the warrant 755 million is just ridiculous when you consider there's only 3 million shares. What is that going to do to the price? But our point here was once they get all those shares over here, they'll have lots of shares to do a reverse stock split, right? Then they could kick this price up to $10 and beat the hell out of us. Take all of our shares, and we're going to pray that it goes up and doesn't fall and compound our losses. I am holding stocks that have done reverse stock splits years ago because they just don't come up, and I'm not going to invest thousands of dollars to get my hundreds of dollars back. Not yet. Not yet. I will invest in these companies as they come back, but really, honestly, I've got $50,000 lost, and I'm slowly waiting for them to come back, and it ain't happened yet. All right. Was there anything I needed to say here? No, we're going to go take a look at the relative volume for the company. Look at how low that is, dropping from 57 million down to 2 million. That's pretty desperate, pretty sad. Share structure you already saw. They have a market cap right now of about 1.5 million. Where's my highlighter? Uh-oh, I lost my highlighter. Maybe I got too many windows open. Let me close some of these. And I might have to actually open up another one. You remember how this goes, right? My OTC gets locked up and I got to drag another one in. MSPR. Okay, we're going to drag this one in. MSPR. Ta-da! Thank you very much. Right, very, very, very low volume. We've already done the financials. No, we have not done the financials. There's our financials. And it was what the kind of financials are these? Financials aren't bad if you're looking only at the top line. They've been growing. We've grown from 14 million 4 years ago to 18 million. Not big, fast growth by any means. But considering we pretty much more than doubled what we did last year, not bad. But what's going on down there? Oh my God. 4 years ago, we were making profit. Bring in 14 million, Keep 14 million. Not a bad deal. Bring in 23 million, lose 10 times that much. 245 million. What? Bring in 7 million, lose $470 million, $500 million. And now we've brought in 18 million and we just lost darn near $500 million. What? How do you stay in business like that? Holy cow. Quarterlies. Look at, I don't care what the top numbers are. Yeah, they're making money. No, they are not. Look at this, folks. They brought in $500 million last quarter and they had to pay $118 million for that $500,000. I don't get it. I wouldn't touch me myself. Just those numbers there confound my brain that I would not get near this unless the stock was ripping. If it was going parabolic, I'd jump in, take that move. But to go get in and hold this stock for any time, nope. Only getting in on big moves. Balance sheet for this company. This should be interesting. Cash and cash equivalents. The bank is about 4 million. They say we got 1.6 billion in assets. And of course, our liabilities are more, but thank God, not by much, 1.8 billion. So we're holding just shy of $250 million. Sounds a lot now, don't it? In deficit, 207 million in stockholder deficit. So the company's losing money all over the place. I mean, their bucket couldn't hold water if you poured it in with a fire hydrant. Coming out the bottom, looking really, really bad here. I do believe we've covered everything that we need to except that chart. Let's go take a look at the chart. I don't have to do that because we've got it up. So let's take a look now at the 1-year chart. She's been falling gradually. Now I'm believing we've had some reverse stock splits here, right? We had a 1 and 7. So I know of that one. Well, that happened somewhere in this region, which means this high is not right at $28. We got at least one reverse stock split of 7. Divide that by 7. It's going to be closer to $7.20 was our high. And she's been falling ever since. And she's never gotten over the 200. Not once. And we just hit our 52-week low of 19 cents. That was back at the very end of October. Let's come on down to our 4-hour. Does it look any better? No, that's pretty much the same picture. Jumping on down to our 1-hour view. Got some volatility in there. I'm going to get rid of this Fibonacci. Really don't need it for what we're looking at here. Use those Fibonaccis to trade. That's how I get in and out. I know over top of a line is my entry and underneath a line is my exit. That's why I put my Fibonacci's up. So we had a huge rip here. That's a huge rip. Wow. This was on November 3rd. She went pre-market from roughly, call it 20 cents up to $1.10. Wow. Right? 500% run. Most of that was all pre-market, though it does look like we had some aftermarket after the bell. That is to say, she went from 20 cents up to basically 82 cents at the bell, and then jumped up from 82 to $1.09, and then came all the way down to our 20-day MA here, rolled under and off of that, and she's come up. Now let's take a look at where we're at right now. 10-day 30. So basically, I'm going to put my Fibonacci on this from high bubble to low bubble. I'm looking at the dead center right here, the 50% mark. I like to see if the price is hanging up over top of it or under it. Negative, under it. Positive, over it. After a big run like that, if the price will hang out over top of the 50%, you'll normally see some activity start climbing. She wants to normally push up. She comes down underneath the 50, and I don't mean just under it. The magnet, you know, like a monkey underneath it, that's okay. But when she starts to fall, she's normally going to fall until she hits the next closest MA. The strong MA. Well, she broke it. She broke the 200. So as far as I'm concerned, once she came under our 50% mark and came under that 200, she's in a downtrend. And right now she looks just like that. She's in a downtrend. All the MAs pushing down, 200 rolling over, price pushing down even after hours. All of our oscillators at best are flat, but most of them are tending to roll over right now. 5-day, 5-minute probably isn't going to look any better. Just a close-up of what we've seen there. Everything is rolling down right now. We got a lot of shares coming out. The price has gone back down underneath the dollar. They just did a reverse stock split. They're losing money hand over fist. Oh my God. I don't see a whole lot going on with this company. I don't see any catalysts. I see them struggling to stay afloat. They're taking on water so quick. I know this is the bucket. They weren't holding water. The ship, they're holding water. They're going down, man. I don't like it. I think this stock is looking really bad on all accounts, from the chart to the fundamentals to the news. There's just nothing there for me. If I've stepped on your toes, I apologize. If I'm saving you some grief, you're welcome. So what are you guys doing over here? You missing me yet? No conversation. Hover, HOVR. We might get to that. Maybe if I keep talking, if I keep rolling. We are on stock number 2. We've gone through a half hour. That's 15 minutes. See, I've been doing 20 minutes of stock. We need to get it down to 15 minutes. That would be an improvement. So let me get this off of here. Put this bad boy back in gear and take you on a trip. We're going to get rid of this puppy and bring this back over here. I don't think we need that anymore either. Nope. So we are now going to take a look at number 3, NFE from the underdog. Yeah, I always do that. NFE. This is New Fortress. Looking at New Fortress chart. Give us a little heads up of what we're thinking and talking about. Oh, not bad. This week we have been on an uptrend, right? She hit a low here of 98 cents and has doubled that virtually. She's at $1.60, $160 up here. But on the long chart, she's fighting to get over that 200, which is still falling. So the chances of her doing anything when she gets over it, but coming right back down, not a whole lot. So let's see what's going on over here with NEF. NEF. This is New FA. New Fortress Energy. This is a provider of liquid natural gas. And when you go to their website, they make it sound like they are just, oh my God, angels from heaven. They are spreading ecological bliss across the planet. Wherever they go and do business, they're bringing joy. But really, they're just delivering gas. That's all they're doing. Nothing more. They're delivering gas, and they're doing a damn good job of it. No wonder they're in a good mood. Strong, steady revenues, strong shareholder equity, average daily volume, average share structure. New Fortress Energy. This company is here in America, New York. Let's see. She finished today at $1.46, up almost 26%, jumping 30 cents. Hot penny stock on the NASDAQ. Let's see. Let's just start over here. I'm just going to go with my flow. Doubled our relative volume over the last 30 days. New Fortress has been doing about 15 million shares. Today, she's closing in on 40 million shares. Share structure for the company, average, right? 284 million. I don't know what the insiders own. I'm praying they own something. Subtract that from the outstanding. There's our float. Hopefully they own a lot and our float's a lot lower. Whatever they own, it can't be any higher than 284. Market cap, 330 million. Let's see, financials. This goes up to 2024. Look at those financials. Aren't those good? We are in the billions. We got to add 3 zeros. Remember, we got to add 3 zeros to these numbers. So we're in the billions. Now, I know if you look at bigger blue chip stocks, you're used to these big numbers. We don't see big numbers like this most of the time on our stocks. So we're at 1.3 billion 4 years ago. At the end of 2024, we had almost doubled that. We were closing in on 2.4 billion. And we got to keep 1.1 billion of that as profit. That's virtually 50%. That's good. That's real good. Quarterlies. Revenues are falling. I don't know why they're falling. We were at about $500 million a year ago. jumped around high and low through the year, but right now we're at the lowest we've been in a year at 300 million, and we got to keep 1/10 of that. 1/10. What happened to our 50% profit margin? Why are we down to 1/10? 33 million. All the rest we're doing pretty good. Not this last one. Something's changed. We should do some deeper due diligence. Some duper deep diligence. Oh, it's going to get worse. I can see. Looking at our quarterlies. What? Oh, that's our balance sheet. Okay. Right. So cash and cash equivalents in the bank is 821 million. That's been growing, right? From 297 million up to almost $1 billion in the bank. Wonder how many bank accounts you need to put that much money in. Total assets. Wow. Look at that. $12 billion. Please. Oh, liabilities are up there, but still, we've got some strong stockholder equity. Could have been stockholder deficit. 10.6 billion. We're left with 1.2 billion in stockholder equity. So everybody's in the black here. Now, the company is dropping right now. They're looking a little sick, a little green around the gills, but we're doing pretty good as stockholders. Now, as day traders, this is looking good. As a long hold, I'd want to do some more due diligence and see why the revenues are falling so hard. That's a concern right now. Take a look at the news, see what the catalyst is. What's got this stock moving? New Fortress Energy discloses notice from the NASDAQ. They were late filing their 10Q. They're June 30th. Now, since we're talking about it, let's just dive on over there. I did have this highlighted, and we do. This was the late notice. They filed this August 12th for the period of June 30th. Now, when you file a quarterly late notice, it gets you 5 extra days. That's it. You file a NT 10K, not filing our annual financial on time, you get 15 days. After that, you're late. Well, they were late. They didn't get it out until September 5th, right here. Now they've done it again. They've gotten out of hot water. They did file it. It was a pressure. It was a problem. They got that filed. Now they're late again. Not filing our quarterly report for the third quarter of 2025. Just so you know. Jumping back on over to that news. September 16th, the company reaches a milestone agreement for long-term gas supply with Puerto Rican government. I dove into this. It's a 7-year contract. We're loving that. New Fortress Energy achieves first fire at Selba 2 power plant. This is a power plant they've built in northern Brazil. They've just fired it up. They got to warm it up like a diesel engine. Get everything roasting, and then they're going to be able to put it online. But it is a huge milestone, and they've just done that, happening right now. And then New Fortress Energy signs a forbearance agreement. Basically, they're late on an interest payment on a big loan. They've got themselves another month, and the people they owe aren't going to bug them. That's the big news. So that's what we're dealing with. That takes us all the way up to the 18th of November. So that gives you all of your disclosures. I do believe that gives us all of our disclosures. Yep. Yeah, that SC13G, we'll take a look at it. I don't know how old it is. They're September. It's kind of old. These are when, Vanguard Group. These are when new investors come into the company and they buy so many shares, they actually own a percentage of the company and become an insider. Well, this is Vanguard Group. That's a big insider, right? That's a hedge fund. They just bought themselves 13 million shares, and that's given them just under 5% of the company. So we do have new investors coming into the company right now. I do believe that was everything. We covered their financials. Everything was good. So let's go take a look at the chart. I've already got it set up over there, and you're with me. I like you guys. I do. You smell good. Well, one of you does. I don't know which one, but somebody smells good. All right. Looking at the 1-year chart. Wow, a lot of lines here. Looked at this chart a few times, and it's funny. I don't remember this company, but I've obviously looked at this a few times. So she's been in a downtrend over this last year. I don't see any reverse stock splits. That doesn't mean she hasn't had one, but we've got a high here just under the 200-day MA of 1666. And then she came barreling downhill down to a 52-week low of 98 cents, which we hit just last week. So she's been in a downtrend all this time, and we don't have anything set up. She is on top of our falling 200 underneath all the MAs. So there's nothing to get really excited about here. Let's come on down to our 6-month, 4-hour view. So we've got that downtrend, huge. Right now, how she's setting up. All right, so we do have a setup. What I'm looking for is right now, I'm a day trader. I'm looking for things that are ready to break out. And when a stock is falling, as soon as they start to level out, well, it's not falling anymore, right? It's leveled out. That's step one. Then you're looking for the crossovers. Everything that was coming down to change direction. All the heavy stuff is on the top, needs to get on the bottom. So everything crosses over. That's the magic right there. We're looking for all the crossovers here. When everything starts to cross, our price is under every single MA. Hit a low bubble. Off that low bubble, she bounces. Not that that makes the low bubble special, but she bounced off that low bubble, working her way across all the MAs. Easy. No excitement. She's gotten on top of the 20. She's over top of the 200. It isn't until she gets on top of the 50-day MA in our 200 squeeze that the bars start getting chunky. Big, thick bars. We're sitting on top of that 9-day as we get on top of the 50. Our 200 haul right here, you can see purple down, blue up. This is when it changed directions. Punch down for the impulse. Bend your knees. You're going to jump. Boom. There we go. Bigger bars going to and through the 200. Folks, she's in the midst of moving right now. Freeze frame. We're not done. She's in it right now. So I'm liking this. It's looking good. Look at our oscillators. Every single one of them. Slopes. These are launch pads all taken off. Look at that volume. My God, compared to all this, it's more than twice. It is a lot of extra volume. Take it. Did we look at the volume? I don't remember if we looked at the volume. I'm jumping back here. You're with me, so don't worry. On the other platform, I couldn't do that. Yeah, we did. Twice as much volume. So that's what we are looking at right now. Coming down to our 1 hour, that's the daily. I make mistakes. We got a bowl. Let me grab my line here. We got a bowl right. Where did it? It actually fell here. That's where it fell. So we're breaking out of that bowl. Doesn't have to be a cup and handle, just a cup. A gradual turnaround like that is perfect. When you see a slope like that, it's everybody's in agreement. There's no arguing going on here. There's no huge bounces. Yeah, you're right. We agree it should be going up, but everything bounces, going down, going up, going sideways. Everything bounces. So this is going exactly the way it should. All of our MAs have crossed to 200. 1, 2, 3 golden crosses. Turbo, turbo, turbo. What's going on? Boom, boom, boom. This thing's running. That's what you have happen with your golden crosses. Lots of power comes into the price and she rips. Now she has pulled a long ways away from all of these MAs, but she's still on her 9. I'd be watching. I'd watch that spread right there. We don't want it to get too far. There's rubber bands between all of these MAs. When anything, including the price from the 9-day, if anything stretches too far, comes back. And sometimes it comes back so fast it crashes and goes through all of them. So we're watching. Our volume is still increasing, getting stronger and stronger. Oscillators are still climbing. RSI is pulled back a little bit, but boy, you really can't see it on the chart, can you? Coming down to our 5-day, 5-minute. Sweet. This is where we started when we came here. Change of trend. Our 200 was coming down. We hit that low bubble. She went flat right there underneath the 200. Now we're on top of the 200. When it goes flat, look for your breakouts. If the stock doesn't want to get on top of the 200 when it goes flat, you've got a problem with that stock. Just saying. This one got on top and she took off. Didn't really want to stay around the 200. Put a peg leg down, a push, just a push like a skateboarder. Pushed off of that and it's going. And now everything is sloping up. Now she is going parabolic. She is starting to push hard. I'd be watching for that parabolic move, and I'd ride that parabolic move, but I'd be selling on the parabolic move, not the fall, because it'll be a parabolic fall on the other side. She'll go up and she'll come down. So if you sell on green bars using market orders, right, you don't need to choose the price. She's climbing. You've got 100 shares, sell 40, sell 50 as she's climbing. Market. It was at $1.20. Now it's at $1.40. When you hit market, it jumped. Woohoo! Extra money. Sell as she's climbing. If you're waiting for red bars, you're selling as she's falling and you're losing money. I know you think you're losing money because you're not getting the top. It's that top that screws everybody over. Forget the top. There's not a top. It goes up and it comes down. There's no top. So everything is looking hot on this one. That's a 15-minute, not the 5-minute, by the way. Oh, what do we see? I see a double top. I see a big M for murder. Double top, a top here, a top there, back down. Normally at the bottom of the completed M, you see a fall. The fall is normally the depth of the M, but it can go a lot further. In reverse, if you see a W for winner, at the end of the completed W, you normally have a push up, the depth of the W, but it could go a lot further as it does on the SPY, the Q, and the Russell. Oh, they love their double bottoms. So we got anything over here? Oh, look at this. Look at that. On our scan, my watch list, this is in order of percentage gainers. Number one's at the top. Who's at the top? Right there. NFE is at the top, the one we're looking at. This is the biggest gainer up to $20, 25%. Wow, I find that hard to believe. And oh, it just changed. No, it didn't. And then WKHS, which was one that Dino Trades wanted me to look at, but I already had one to look at for Dino Trades. So my point here is I'd watch for a fall. Always watch the letter M. Be prepared. Have your finger on that button. She comes underneath this 50. Look, she rarely comes under the 50. She hits it. Here she came under it only to be supported by the 100. That's the only reason she broke the 50. She has never dared break the 50 all the way up. If she breaks that 50, I would be concerned and I'd be holding my finger on the button. Yes, I would. All right, let's jump into another one. It's 4:53. I'm ready. I still got some voice, some. Matter of fact, let me... And it's not nicotine. Remember last week I told you I must be one of the silliest people in the world? Because I bought flavored air. These vapes have no nicotine in them. They have no vitamins in them. They have nothing in them. They're just flavor. It's like candy cigarettes for adults, right? I mean, they're useless. They cost as much as the ones with nicotine. You'd think they'd be cheaper, but it's just a flavor, and I love it. Leaves a little candy thing on there, so I feel like I'm eating candy, but I'm not. I mean, this would be a great diet thing, I think. I do, but what do I know about diets? I've never been on one in my freaking life. I see it's bouncing up over here, so that's looking good. Looks like it ain't going to pay no mind to this letter M. So we're going to dive on over here to the next ticker. This is coming from Zoom Play, Dino Trades, MNDR. What is a Zoom Play? Zoom Play is, I don't do DD. We're just going to dive into this because there was a big chart on the jump pre-market. Now, when I see a big jump, I'm always looking at the charts pre-market, though I don't get to play. I'm putting out news pre-market between 7:20 and 9 in the morning every single day for over 2 years, folks. I think I might have missed 2 days, maybe. I put it out on Twitter under John Zidar. You can follow me and get that news. I give you all the news, the percentage gains, the price, and I try to keep it pretty. I give you a lot of information. That's my thing. I want you to have information. The more you know, the more you grow. Oh, sorry, that's just force of habit. I also do it over at Penny Boys, my Discord group, and I do it at Facebook. And when I look at the charts, I like to take pictures of charts that are hot. Get them out there. Let you look at it. Ooh, there's a hot chart. You can do what you want. The more information you have, the more you can do, right? Well, this one had a big jump. When I see a big jump, the first thing I do normally is run over and check the news. So that's what we're going to do. I would run over here and say MNDR, Mobile Health Networks, finished at $3.04. She's up 83%. This is a company out of Singapore. All right. Mobile Health Network. Let's see the news. What's going on over here? Well, we got lots of news, but remember, she's moving now, right? If I'm looking at the charts, I see a chart moving. I'm in a hurry. I want the news quick. I want to know what's happening. Well, this is November 17th. This is the 20th. It ain't that news. Whatever that is, that ain't got the stock moving right now. So boom, I get on by that and leave it. We'll come back to it. I come over here to the filings. Oh, there we go. Look at that. 11:20. Now, they don't tell us the time, but I'm sure this probably came out when the stock started moving. So 6K is a material change. Something important has changed in the company. 8Ks and 6Ks. You should get in the habit of diving into these, at least looking at the top line here, see if it sounds like anything you're interested in. Then read the first paragraph. On November 19th, the company entered into a memorandum of understanding for the acquisition of 2 artificial intelligence optimized data centers. Data centers. We're not talking AI programs, data centers. And related digital infrastructure in Malaysia, right? It's Singapore. Under the memorandum of understanding. Now, follow me here. This is a big surprise. I didn't know we were going to find this. And this is something you need to really pay attention to because this is the catalyst. This stock should be moving harder than it's moving right now. The company is expected to pay $120 million for these data centers. They're going to pay for it with stock. It's an all-stock transaction. Uh-oh, you're scared now. Yeah, but look. 3 million shares. What? How much is the stock? $3. Well, $3 times 3 million is 9 million. Where the hell do you come up with 120 million? Isn't that $40? You're darn tootin' it is. Look, come on down here. They straighten us out real quick. The total number of Class A shares to be issued for consideration is 3 million, which will equal $120 million, which is $40 per share. This company who is selling us the data centers has agreed to 3 million shares, considering the value of every share is $40. They paid. That's what they're paying. They're only getting 3 million shares. So they're not in profit. They're not getting their 120 million until this stock is at $40. Now, in saying that, 2 things come to my mind. One, it's undervalued, right? Whoa. If somebody is going to sell 2 AI data centers to this company for 120 million, and all they're taking is 3 million, they expect that is going to kick the price up really hard and fast. And they're going to do a reverse stock split and kick this price really up high. I seen a music licensing company do that. They were on the OTC, a penny stock, and they kicked the price up to like $60, $70. And it was like, are you kidding me? This thing's going to come down so hard. It never came down. It stayed up there at $60. And I had one share. And after it was all over because of the reverse stock split. And it was a fraction share, and they gave me my money for that fraction. I didn't get any shares. But in either case, that is a big deal here, that you have 2 data centers being bought for 120 million at a purchase price of only 3 million shares, and the stock price is $3. Holy cow. Surprise. Jumping back over to the news, which we didn't look at real close. September 5th, the company and Hopsong Group of companies partnered to launch AI-powered digital health platform in Ghana. Ghana? Isn't Ghana in Africa? I don't know where Ghana is. I may be wrong. But they got a health platform going there, AI. The company secures a $900,000 strategic investment from Indo-Pacific to accelerate LifePak acquisition and Indonesia market entry. Indonesia. So it sounds like they're in the MENA area, the Middle East and North Africa. The company announces a reverse stock split. Oh boy. This happened in September on the 25th. It was for 1 and 5. So they've already had a 1 and 5 reverse stock split already. That just occurred. So we don't have to worry about that, but that doesn't mean they may not do one. Most of these stock splits are done to get them out of hot water, but you can do a reverse stock split just to put your stock in front of the right people. If you don't want penny stock people looking at your stock and you want Warren Buffett looking at your stock, you need to get your stock up there at $60, $80. A reverse stock split could do that if you have enough shares. The company unveils proprietary Phi GPT AI-powered health companion. You'll have to do due diligence there. The company and Brands for Good unite to champion corporate wellness. They're obviously working in health, really, really big here. Network Solutions provides their operational update. You're going to want to dive into that if you want a lot of information. You'll get the past and the future. And then the CEO increases his equity stake. He buys more stock in the company, which is always a good thing. So there's a lot going on with this company right now. They're buying data centers, which we know is huge. Data centers are going to be as important as the grid. Seriously, as important as electricity. And they're going to make sure they never go down. They're going to have their own power sources. They're not going to be plugged into our grid. They're going to have their own dang grids. It's going to be a wild world now, folks. So what was the relative volume around this company? Holy cow. Wow. Had no idea. We've gone from 42,000 shares a day on the major exchange for the last month to 67 million shares today. That's like 220, 100. That's close to 150 times her normal volume. 15,000% increase if my brain is working properly. Share structure for MNDR, we're at, oh my God. Jeez. Okay. As of September, we had less than 1 million shares outstanding. We've been looking at a lot of shares, 3 million shares. All right, so those 3 million shares are going to go onto the market. Those 3 million shares they're giving to the company, they don't keep them. They're on the market. So that's going to be 3 million, 4 million shares, which is still low. Oh, bloody hell. That's still real low. And I don't know if there's any more shares hiding out there. I don't know if there's any warrants out there. But as things stand right now, we've got ourselves a very low float. Probably not any more than 5 million. And that's not considering what the insiders may own. Haven't even thought about that yet. Market cap for the company, we're at 1.5 million. Are they making any money though? Yes, they are, and they've been in the black for the last that's not 4 years. 22, 23, 24, 20. Oh, well, we got 2025 here. I'm not used to seeing that. Last 4 years, we've gone from 7 million to 7.5 million. Had a strong year in 2024, and their profits relate to their revenue. So everything is copacetic here. Not going anywhere fast, but they're not falling. They're not showing any desperation. We got no quarterlies there, but we do have a balance sheet. Looking at our cash and cash equivalents, we got about 1 million in the bank. Total assets, 4.5 million. Total liabilities, 1.8 million, which gives us stockholder equity of 2.6 million. So everything is kosher. As a day trader, I'd be happy to get into this stock. You know, I pay attention because you get stuck in stocks, right? You get into a stock as a day trader and you end up turning it into a swing. Why? Because you went to the bathroom or it moved too quick. Something didn't go the way you planned and it went to a place you didn't want it to be, and you don't want to take the loss yet. So we're kind of hoping. But if we've done our due diligence, if we've looked at it properly, we shouldn't be holding a bag. You should know what you're getting into. And I like to do that, but to be completely honest, when I'm day trading, I'm not. I am getting in and I am getting out as fast as I can. And I don't know anything. I don't know the news. I don't know the fundamentals. I don't know the management. All I know is this car is going my direction and I need a ride. I don't know their name. I don't know the kind of car it is. I'm just getting my ride. And I get my ride and I'm happy. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. Keeps things simple. Nothing wrong with that. Do believe that takes care of everything here for MNDR. Let's go take a look at that chart. MNDR. Oh, I could have done it that way, I guess. I did have it over here already on number 4, didn't I? I did. Okay. MNDR, I don't see you listed over here. NFE is still up there at the top. So let's see. MNDR, going back 1 year. Oh. All right. So I'm going to go back 2 years just to get an idea of where, actually 3. All right, there's 3 years. Woo. Now, I don't know if we've had any reverse stock splits here. I'm going to presume we didn't. I don't know if this was a SPAC or not. This looks like when she came on the market. What? Oh, bloody hell. No, there's been some reverse stock splits here, more than one. These prices back here are ridiculous. This says $188. The high is $1,100. Yeah, right. Let's come on down to something. Let's see if something makes sense in a year. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I'm going to get rid of all these lines here. They're definitely going to be a hassle. Remove. There we go. So she came down, way down, hard and fast. Price was way down here. No way to climb. She's on top of the 50. That's the last MA she can get onto. There's no moving averages to climb on. And this is a kangaroo. It bounces from level to level. It doesn't fly. You'd have to be a bird to get all the way up here. So there's no way. But once it got close, oh my God, she was so bored. She was so eager. Look at this. She couldn't wait. Wham! She took off. I don't know what the prices were. It says we're going from 12 to 40. I don't know. But you're looking at 300. 350% run right there. Just to touch the 200. Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad. Once she hit it, she came back down hard to our 200 haul, which just came into the picture right here. And she's been sitting on that for a very long time. Hitting a 52-week low here of $1.53, pushing up. Everything is pushing up. All of our oscillators have woke up today. We've got volume today. We're a long ways away from that 200. We're down here at $3. That's up there at $6.81. Now, she could run there. It is possible. I'm not saying it isn't possible. What we need is to get that price on top of the 50 and have that 200. Nope, not this one. That one. That purple. Turn up. So if this can push up, get up on top of the 50, we'll be in that 200 squeeze. She's not in a 200 squeeze yet. She's under the 200. Got to get her up. So everything is looking like it's setting up right now. And I kind of like that for this stock. Take a look at the 4 hour. Ooh, downtrend, $18. But look at these big jumps. We'll go with the prices. 7 to 10. This is 4 to 8, 3.5 to 6.5. You're talking multi-dollar jumps. So she likes to jump, even though she's under the 200. And when she jumps, she does not try to break out. Notice that. She isn't trying to go anywhere when she gets over a falling 200. She's smart. She knows you just push up, look around like a periscope on a submarine, see what the hell is going on, get some air. You're underwater, go back down. She's falling now. We are finally making a move. This is the first breakout move. This isn't just a poke through. Oh my God. Look at that poke through. Folks, we went from $1.66 up to $6.30 right there. Woo, 450, 500, something like that. That is a huge, huge rip. Pre-market. Oh, you don't pay attention to pre-market. Sad for you. Came all the way back down through the 200, all the way back down to the 9, which is what's going to happen. After it breaks out, it's going to come down either to the 200 or the next MA underneath it. This is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, so we ain't freaking out. She bounced off the 9, and here we go again. Look at the size of these bars. Look at these itty-bitty baby teeth, and look at these vampire fangs. Big, long wicks, jumping high. She's in the middle of a 200 squeeze. We just turned up right there. Everything is looking super hot to me. All of our oscillators going to the moon on the 4 hour chart. 1 hour chart, it was desperate. She was falling down to that low with no hope, hit the low, didn't bounce off of it and climb. She bounced off of it, but she didn't climb. The difference, when you climb off of a low bubble, it means you've got value. You're undervalued. When you just bounce off of it, we don't know what's going on. So she just bounced. She went sideways and then ripped. She had that big rip pre-market down to the 9 again. This is on our hourly chart, hanging on that 9. Look at that, folks. Look at that. So if you're playing the 1 minute, 5 minute, and she comes down underneath all the MAs and she's just dangling, the price is dangling in midair, and your 200's way the hell down there, and you're going, oh my God, she's crashing. Slow down. Slow down. Go look at your 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour. Go see if she is sitting on top of the 9 days. Whew. Listen to your long charts. The short charts, a lot of noise in there. Shh. Go listen to your hourly charts, your half hour, your 15 minute. They'll put you straight. This never fell below the 9. Even when she had these big red bars, which were causing everybody to freak out, she was still climbing. This is looking good. Now, what are we expecting right now? We're expecting her to come down. If the price is up here, that's where it says it's at. Up there at 421. She closed at 3, but she's at the top of the green bar. We open at the bottom. We close at the top for green. You open at the top for red. You close at the bottom. So we read the bottom of the red. We read the top of the green. I didn't know that for 2 years. I did not know that. So we're up here at 410. Our 9 is down here at 315. So the price is $1 away from our 9 day, right? So I'm thinking it's got to come back down. It's got to come and bounce. The kangaroo can't fly, so it's going to come back down. It's looking good. I like what it's looking like, but we don't just buy when we want it. No, we wait. Yeah. You're right. This is climbing. I think I'll put in a buy price here at $3.12. I like it. Wait for it to come down. Oscillators, well, we got lots of volume today. Pre-market, through the day, aftermarket. Looking good. Everything is pushing up. 5 day, 5 minute. Ooh, I'm liking that. I don't know if that's a bowl, a cup, which it could be. We could have a line right there at the top that she's breaking through right now. Or we could have a wimpy bosom, W, kind of looks like bosoms. We could have a W here. Oh, looks to me like a cup and handle. Right there, folks, right? Here's the cup, and then the handle comes down 1/4 to 1/3 of the depth of the cup. 1/3 to 1/4, and then it launches. And it will jump the depth of the cup, whatever this is from here down to here. Just put that up at the top. That's normally how far to go, but it can go a lot further. So this is actually setting up all of our MAs, curving up right now. Our 200-day MA is now climbing. It was falling, not hard, but it was falling. Now it's climbing stronger than it was falling. All of our oscillators are pushing up, but there's pullback right there. But everything is still on the uptrend on the pullback. So I would be watching MNDR with a $40 price tag on 3 million shares. Those 3 million shares are going on the market. Somebody paid $40 for those 3 million shares on the market that you're going to be able to buy at $3, $4, $5. I'm thinking something is up here, and they've got data centers. Two data centers. Now, I don't know how big they are. Do your own due diligence here, folks. I'm only scraping across the surface. We're not getting in deep. And since it's your money, you need to go in deep. So this is looking good to me. I'm liking MDR for a lot of reasons. Chart looks good. News looks good. The data centers look good. The investment looks good. Psst, another hot one for me. All right, what time is it? 5:14. Do you know where your soda pop is? I do. Microvast Holdings. I don't know if I'll get to anything else here. I'm trying to whip through these, and it looks like I'm still not going fast enough. It's 5:15, and I think I've gotten 4 or 5 done. Let's see here. MNDR jumping again after hours. Dino Trades, MDR. We got you covered there, buddy. Belmore, John, thanks. I don't buy the stock, only the warrant. Oh, I got to remember that about you. I do know that. Belmore looks at a hot company, a hot stock, but she plays the warrants. These stocks in the major exchange, I would say 80% of them have warrants, which are penny stocks, a lot cheaper than the stock. When the stock gets hot, the warrant gets hot, but you can get in cheaper. When the stock runs 20%, the warrant will run 50%. When the stock runs 100%, the warrant will run 250%. So yeah, warrants can be a lot of fun. But again, don't hold them. Get in. They start running. Take your gains. Liquidity is a big issue for warrants. They don't stay active very long. Ah, la, la. Matthew, I do appreciate you being here, Matthew. Grill it. Right. All right. I'm going to get back to what I've got. I would love to just sit here and gab with you and just talk sociably, break out my pipe and smoke, talk stocks. That would be so nice. As it is, we're trying to actually get you all the stocks you covered. So I can't just sit here and gab with you like the girls. Nothing personal. I'm just saying. All right. Jumping back. I didn't do it. Aha. Good thing. Let me get back here. I got to press that button so that you can see what I'm doing there. Next stock we're looking at is FGL from Kashera. FGL Founder Group Limited. This is a Malaysian solar energy company. Low daily volume, low share structure, lots of profitable deals here recently, and no recent filings to consider. FGL number five. There's number 5 right there. She has been falling the whole bloody day, and she's been falling for the last 6 months with some huge rips. One of those rips being yesterday. Yep, yesterday, after market. So let's go see what we've got going on for FGL Founder Group. Right, we got all that. Founder Group. This company is from Malaysia. Finished today at 36 cents, down about 0.33%, let's call it. And fell about 0.001. I mean, she barely moved. Now, maybe she moved, but she ended up barely moving from where she closed. She is on the NASDAQ. So Founder Energy is one of the leading industry players in the supply and installation of solar systems and other engineering works involving civil structure and mechanical electrical engineering nationwide. Now let's see what information I had here. Going back to September 10th, which is as far back as the news goes here. I don't know if they have more. I'm sure they do. They've got some big deals. Founder Group secures a $2.3 million contract for a 30 megawatt large-scale solar plant in Malaysia. The Founder Group Limited to significantly benefit from a $4.1 billion solar project contract. Now, this is a contract that is actually gotten from another company, but they're working with that company. We don't know how much they're going to get. The company recently signed a memorandum of understanding with GCL Systems Integration to collaborate on renewable energy projects valued at up to $220 million across Malaysia and the Asian countries. The company is also actively exploring AI-powered solutions with its business partners to streamline its project management, engineering and design, and operations and maintenance division. Another deal. Founder Group announces landmark $276 million deal for a 310 megawatt solar plus storage project in Sarawak, anchoring regional green data center. I do believe I had something in here. Did I or did I not? No. All right. So this is huge. This is, like I was saying earlier, these data centers have to have dedicated supply centers. They cannot rely on the grids. We can't have them powering into the grids. They're going to take too much power. That would make our power go up, the cost of power for us. So they got to have their own secured power dedicated to them. And that's what this is. And as you can see back here, it was 2.3 million for 30 megawatts. This one is 10 times up, 270 for 310. And then the Founder Group Limited announces receipt of NASDAQ notification regarding minimum bid price deficiency, right? We're at 35 cents. So they've been under $1 for too long. Now, I don't know if too long is 30 days. Yep, 30 days. That's what NASDAQ says. They've been under the dollar for 30 days. They are now in hot water. They have to get the price up over $1. We do for 10 consecutive days. It has to close over $1. It can go under $1 during those 10 days, but it has to close over $1. If it does that, they're out of hot water, no problem. They do this again, we just start the whole process again. But right now, as it stands, we got to get the price up over $1, and we have until May 5th, 2026 to do it. So as a day trader, this really doesn't affect us. We're not really worried about this. But yeah, we would like to see the price go up, and that could be a catalyst helping the price to move up. I don't think there was any more news to consider. So we've got lots of deals here. They're doing lots of deals. And I was reading an article somewhere about this company. I don't remember where I was getting it from, but they were saying that there is a glut of solar panels out there right now, which has brought the prices down on solar panels to their basement prices, lower than they've ever been before. I do believe I've got that information right, because we were just putting them out there big time. So right now, this company is making use of that advantage and selling these huge contracts to companies at these great prices. So what is the relative volume from FGL today? About half as good as what she's normally been doing. She's been doing about 21 million over the last 30 days. Today, she only did 10.5 million. Share structure for FGL, not bad. Outstanding share count is about 17.5 million. Without any clue what the insiders own, I can't tell you what we have in the float, but I can tell you it can't be more than 18 million, which isn't bad. That's not bad at all. Market cap, we're at 6.3 million. Financials, they're making money because that's what matters. We invest in companies to share in the profits. Up and down, 9 million, 20 million, 12 million. Profits, up and down. So right now they're on a down note, which is bad because actually the revenues are somewhere in the middle, but the profit is as far down as it's ever been over the last 3 years. Any extra money coming in? Yeah, not much, 277,000. Quarterlies, we don't get them. That's because it's a foreign company. They do have quarterlies. They just don't list them on the OTC market. Balance sheet, adding those 3 zeros here, we got 1.9 million in the bank. 15.5 million in assets, 13.3 in deficit. So we've got something for us, 2.3 million in assets. So everything's in the black here. As a day trader, a swing trader, I'd be comfortable getting into this stock, not looking too bad. Not happy with them being in hot water. Never are, but just saying. 6K. Have we looked at this? What did I say about the 6K? Nothing to look at, really. FGL. Are we looking at really? I got to check this. How can this not be? Whoa. This just came out. The company gives notice that a meeting of the shareholders of the company will be held on the 5th of December at 10 in the morning. What are they going to be voting on? Always like to look, see if there's an acquisition, a merger, a reverse stock split. Now, since they're in hot water, the price is under $1, and they've got a deadline, I'll bet you we're voting on a reverse stock split, and they want to be prepared. So let's see what we got here. That the payment of director fees to each director be $350,000 a year. Ooh, nice to be a director. That the appointment of the company's auditors be approved. Okay. To amend and restate the memorandum of articles. Sounds good to me. No reverse stock split. Now, that doesn't mean they haven't got one already on the books. They may have voted on one sometime in the last year or 2 years. I've been seeing them vote on reverse stock splits that are good for 2 years, can be used at management's discretion or the director's discretion anytime they want. So there could be one out there. You could go through every single one of these financials, or you could just go to Google and just put in consolidation, split, meeting, shareholder, and then put in the company's ticker and name. If they've got one, you'll find it. Outside of that, all of our filings are over a month old. So I don't see anything here to really be worried about as a day trader. And as I said, they've got lots of money coming in, lots of business right now. And who knows, maybe cheap solar panels is a good thing for the companies right now. Maybe, I don't know. So let's go take a look at ticker FGL. That was our 5-minute chart. Swinging back to our yearly chart. Always want to know the trend. Whenever you trade, you should always look at the big picture first, so you get a feel of what's going on. The stock's been in a downtrend, just to know what the highs and the lows were. You may learn something you just had no clue about. So we have been in a serious downtrend with this stock over the last year. Year ago, we were at $5, presuming there was no reverse stock splits. And we have a 52-week low hitting in October at the end of the month at about 28 cents. Off of that, we bounced immediately, and pushed from 28 cents up to 71 cents. Now, that's not giant, but that's not just a bounce. You know, a bounce would have been banging your head up against that 9-day up there at 35 cents from 28 to 35. That's a push. We went through MAs. We made a change. We got big bars. So this low bubble was probably shopped by low bubble shoppers. Yeah, they're out there. They see a 52-week low. They go check the fundamentals, know exactly what they're looking for, know exactly where to look, see it instantly, and they will come and invest in this stock now. And lots of shoppers will do that, and it will not just jump, it will climb. And this is what I like to watch for, is an immediate bounce off of a low bubble. And if it takes any change moving over an MA, get in. Just ride it, and ride it until she shows any weakness, and then get out. So this pushed up to 300%, 250%, came down to our 20-day MA, and she's been hanging around that 20, right at that 20. She took a dip here, and she is coming back up. Oscillators are showing a little bit of warming up, but they've been weak. They've been very weak after this big fall on this yearly chart. Come on down to our 4-hour. Wow. So we've been in a downtrend, some huge spikes here, right? Now, I've got spikes here of $4 to $7.60. Oh, that's Minder. Don't you do that to me, boy. I will slap you. Let's get the right ticker in here. What color? It's that one. Oh, that's what we got. Okay, so we've got to jump here from $1 to $1.65, to and through the 200, and then right back down, right? That's a falling 200. So never expect a breakout on a falling 200. If it tries to climb over a falling 200, it will not only come back to where it was, it will fall the opposite direction to compensate. It will go deeper down. It gets worse. She came from $1.65 down to 65 cents, came back up, went straight up to $1.41, sideways, and then right here at the top of our 200, she took a hard fall. She was at $1.62 and fell all the way down here to 44 cents, then dribbled down to 28 cents, and then took that fast jump right there. She pushed, crossed to 50, went into a 200 squeeze. Now that's a wide 200 squeeze, no doubt about it. A rising 200 haul, a falling 200 MA, price on top of the 50, zoom. There's your launch, right? There's the slope. Now, because that is falling, we knew it was coming back down. So as soon as she breaks out over top of the 200, sell. You're going to take this ride up over top and sell. You know she's coming back down. Just get used to that. This is one of my favorite plays right here. Breakouts from over top of the 50 to over top of the 200, sell. I don't care what happens. Maybe she does run. I can get back in. But most of the time on a falling 200, she's going to come right back down. And I'm going to say, I did good. Man, you know how good it feels to have it come all the way back down here and you sold up there? Makes you feel like a master. Honestly, I love these 200 squeezes. Then what do we got here? Another 200 squeeze. She got on top of that 50. Yeah, she was jumping before that, but I wait. I wait until she gets on top of the 50, because 8 out of 10 times, if the 200 haul is pushing up, the 200 MA is pushing down, and the price is over top of the 50, you get huge bars and rips. And once she goes over the 200, sell. Don't get greedy. I don't care if she's 2 cents over it. Sell. That was a big run. Don't worry about that little extra frosting at the top. We're after the cake. Take the cake. Nobody gets full on frosting. You get sick on frosting. You get hurt up there at the top. Leave the top alone. So she came back down after that second run, down to our strong support here, which I drew a line on at 32 cents. She's hanging on that. Whoa, for days. Then we took off again here. Not huge. She went from 30 cents up to 47. That's 50% run, over 50%, and back down to our 20. Now, what I can say is she is in a downtrend. There's no doubt about that, but she is bouncing. These bounces make it worth having on your watch list, even though she's not climbing, right? Come on down to our 20-day, 1 hour view. So there's our rip. That was a huge rip. Again, obvious 200 squeeze, even on your hourly chart, 4-hour chart, you can see it. 1 hour chart, you can see it. Another rip here. This too, it's a different setup. Wow. When everything turned up here, she ripped. So we have a lot of volatility here, folks. Then she calms down. After the big waves, you need a lot of smaller waves, smaller waves, smaller waves. And then it builds up again. Well, that's what you had. Big wave, medium wave, smaller waves, smaller waves, smaller waves. Then lay down. We're flat pond. There's our 200 haul turning up, coming up. There's our 50, price over to 50. What do we expect? Folks, this is easy peasy. Just continually watch for a falling stock to get on top of the 50 with the 200. Get that 200 haul on your chart underneath the 50 over and over again. You can eliminate greed by just taking that big run up over top. As soon as it gets over top, that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. Even if it continues running, you keep taking gains just over top of that 200. And you're going to thank me. You're going to come back next year and say, you know how much money I made on this play over and over and over again. And here's the funny thing. Nobody else talks about the 200 squeeze, not even under a different name. Nobody talks about it. I don't know why. Let's take a look at our 5-day, 5-minute. It's going to be bad. Actually, that was the 1 day, 1 minute. Yeah, it's going to be bad. I want to see the 5. I want to see coming into the day. So she was going sideways with a little heat here and there. She took off yesterday, really got hot after market. Went from 35 cents up to that 47 cents, all after market. Down to the 200 pre-market. Another jump, more profit for those that are paying attention to the aftermarket, pre-market periods. And then when the bell hit, no, day traders, you get nothing. Unless you're shorting stock, you get nothing. Even cheated us of our W. We got a little push there, but that's not as deep as the W. Boom. And she is still falling underneath all of our MAs. Red volume, all of our oscillators pushing down. She's not looking very good right now. The only thing I like is that she's volatile. When she jumps with this low float, she moves. But it's looking like, if you start to look at her, looks like most of this activity is pre-market, aftermarket, which is a whole different type of trading. And just so you're aware, in case you're not aware, you cannot use market orders in the aftermarket, pre-market periods. You cannot use a trailing stop loss. You cannot use a regular stop loss. None of these work aftermarket, pre-market, just so you know. Okay, I do believe that covers that stock. We got another one. We do. Yeah. Really? You know, Lee, I don't know, Lee, is it you? This stock gets asked every single week. Every single week, we consider SKYX. Is that X? Yeah, SKYX. All right. We can at least say she's been in an uptrend. Okay. We can say she's been in an uptrend. We'll go look at SKYX. I like to look at stocks that we haven't seen before. You know, we keep looking at the same stock. It feels to me I'm just your personal stock checker. Hey, John, can you find some light at the end of the tunnel here for me? Can you get people excited in this stock and help it rise for me? That's great. But, you know, I would rather have new hot stocks come into the game. But let's take a look at SKYX platforms. Now, I had to, I don't have it. Right. I had to go over to their news. One of these pieces of news. They don't have their website listed here. I had to actually find their website in the news. SKYX is their newest website. They've got a different website listed at the OTC. Let me refresh that real quick. See that knob right there? That's how they connect. This is their specialty item. It's got those two little balls on the side, kind of like those screwdrivers you put tips in. It just snaps in and snaps out real nice and easy. And that's how they do lights and ceiling fans. No wires, no nuts, none of that stuff. No getting electrocuted. Don't even have to turn power off, you know? Click, you just push it in and it's in there. Now they've got a special product that they have that they use. It is let's see there. I think that's it. The smart canopy. Yeah, the smart canopy does a whole bunch of things. It's connected to your phone, voice controlled. So if you needed to call someone, I've fallen down, I can't get up, the house is on fire, maybe your husband, I don't know. It has a light on it. It's dim. It'll play music. It sniffs the air for carbon monoxide, smoke, maybe other things, because in case you didn't know it, there is a public company out there that has just invented a digital nose, and they are building up the library right now. And the first thing they're building up is poisons and gases so that you can have this in your house and it can sniff anything that's poisonous, anything that's dangerous, and let you know. And they're going to be using it for all sorts of things. Does a lot of other things too. It's being hooked up into AI. It can hook up into your other equipment. You know, you can talk to it and tell it to turn on other stuff. And again, it's a quick snap in, snap out, just like that. No problem whatsoever. So what's going on with the company in the news? Something new. Looking at the most recent news since October 30th, the company signs an agreement with a prominent U.S. and international real estate developer, Global Ventures Group, to deploy their advanced smart home technologies to buildings, hotels in the Middle East projects, including Saudi Arabia and Egypt. The company will be launching a new AI-driven software for its e-commerce platform. They've got 60 different websites. 60 different websites that they're selling their stuff on, right? And this website here doesn't exist. Come on. You got 60 websites. They can come over here and change this information anytime they want. They have access to a lot of stuff they can do on these pages. Most companies don't do jack squat. So this is wrong. This one is right, SKYX, and there's 59 other websites that they've got. Back to that news. Boom, boom, boom. They're expecting these websites with the AI to convert sales by 30%, increase their revenues. The company reports record revenues of $24 million for Q3 2025, which is nice, but it's not huge. It's up $1 million since last year. The company is to supply its technologies to a 340-unit townhome and apartment project in San Antonio, Texas, built by prominent developers, landmark companies. Isn't that down here? Prominent, right there. So already this agreement that they made at the end of October is bringing them business in the middle of November. So that's helping them right there. What was the relative volume around the company today? Well, they're getting their respect jacket on. They were under $1 million for the last 30 days, 819,000. Today, they're just breaking almost 1.2 million. Share structure. Outstanding shares, 111 million. Can't count on that. That's from 2022. That's from 2022. So I don't have any information on who owns what. We know outstanding share count is around 111 million. Could be more, could be less. I don't know. That's a little old. And our outstanding share count isn't going to, the float isn't going to be any higher than the outstanding share count. Without any knowledge of what the insiders own, it's the best I can tell you. Market cap for just under 200 million. Financials. Are they making money? Boo. We're not going to worry about that. We just saw the news. They said it was record revenues, Q3 25. They made 24 million extra. So we'll be fine with that. Looking at their filings. Form 4s are filed whenever the insiders acquire or dispose of the company's stock. I like Form 4s because they give you a heads up. They will buy more shares or sell shares if bad or good is about ready to happen. And before we hear about it, they're already moving. They're doing their thing. So if I see a lot of shares being bought or a lot of shares being sold by an insider, that makes me wonder what's going on. And then you can watch the news or the filings to see if something big happens. None of these are buys or sells. You can tell with that code right here in the middle. That's an M and an F. I have no freaking idea what that is. I look for a P for purchase, S for sale. Easy, right? You want to know what these are? I think M is for options. I don't know. They'll give you information down here that you can acquire and start to learn and pick up stuff as you're going along. I don't know what this exactly is, but I'm not too interested in it. And that's what the other one is too. So there's nothing here to worry about except maybe this. Every time we see one of these 424B3s, what do we see? More shares. More shares. Oh, I'm hating that file. So this is for 14.7 million shares of common stock. Thank goodness we are not getting any shareholder dilution from this. I don't know why they're doing this. They are reselling these, if you will, for particular security holders in their prospectus. So rather than the investors taking their shares and just selling them on the market like me and you, like normal people, no, they give them to the company and they say, will you sell these for us? And they sell them for a very particular price. Let me see here. Is it $1.20? Is that what it is? Or is that their warrants? I don't know. But that's what this is all about. But it's not going to affect us really. So I wouldn't worry about that too much at all. Outside of that, I don't see anything else over here we need to really consider. We have gone through all the information except the chart. And we did start to look at the chart. It was jump in. There it is. So let's go back to the year. All right. So a year ago, we were down here pretty much at this low, 88 cents. We were at 86 cents, actually 94. Went up to our 52-week high of 213, down to that 52-week low of 88 cents, and then just midlined it right here the whole bloody year. Now, there have been some bounces in here. As a day trader, yeah, there's some play in here. But as an investor, this would be quite aggravating. Now, since October, she has been climbing. We pushed through a strong support here at $1.68. She came down to her 20-day MA, bounced off of that quite a few times, and then took off on her 9-day, which she has been riding very strong here. All of our oscillators are pushing up. Everything is climbing, not hard, not fast, but everything is climbing, looking good. Taking a look at our 6-month, 4-hour view. Oh, what is that there for? All right, I'm going to take this line off. I don't think I need it anymore. I do like to use trend lines. I really like my trend lines, especially during the day. During the day, you can go from the tops and the bottoms of your stocks, find all the bottoms and find multiple lines across. You know, if you're looking, let me see if I can find something here. Like here, if I was to put in a line across these right here, there are multiple lines you can use because you're saying, well, how do you know which one to use? They're all good. All of them, every single one of them. So if I was working here at the bottom, I'd find the bottom line and I would find across the bottom of tips. Like here, right? I'm on a tip right here. I'm on a tip right here. I'm on a tip right here. And this is what you would do on your daily chart. You would find the tips. But there are other tips, right? What if I bring it up here? Right there. That's a beautiful one. We're on a tip right here. Right there, I'm tipping on it. Right there, I'm on a tip. Right here, I'm on a tip. Right here, I'm on a tip. That's a valid line too. Any trend line is valid. And you will find the stock will ride a trend line. And when it moves, it will either go up to another trend line that you have drawn or down to the other trend line. You can see how this stretched down to the next trend line. And you can do that on the daily charts. It works wonderfully, folks. Draw lines that you see the tops and the bottoms on. It doesn't matter how many you draw. Draw them and start watching how the price responds around them and absorb that energy, that lesson of knowledge. I'm telling you, folks, just putting lines down that you see in your brain, you'll see algorithms also see those same lines. Let's back this up to my 20-day 1 hour view. We're on an uptrend. Low is at this corner, $1.35. We did hit a high here of $2. Came down to our 200, which is uptrending, but right now she is cusped. She is at the apex. She is now just starting to roll down. I'm not happy about that at all. Our price is down on top of it. All of our other MAs are climbing strong. Our 20 is level. Now, the 20 is concerning. When I see the 200 roll, my next concern is for the 20. The 50 is going to roll over, but I'm worried that when the 20 rolls over, the price is going to follow it because the 20 is the steering wheel. You will see that, especially on bigger charts, bigger expensive stocks, when the 20 just starts to roll over, the price will jump fast down or just starts to come up. And that's one of my breakout things. When the price is underneath the 200, when the 20 just starts to turn up, the price will rocket to the 200 and will not stop climbing until the 20 reaches the 200. So as soon as the 20 starts to turn up, the price takes off, price goes through the 200, the 20 is climbing. Once the 20 hits the 200, the price will stop climbing. That's another signal I've noticed. Right now, we do have an uptrend. She's testing our 200. I'd watch it. All of our oscillators are rolling down. Every single one of them right now. Looking at our 5-day, 5-minute. Oh, now see, that's what I'm talking about. You're looking at this chart on your 5-minute going, well, that don't look good. She's deep underneath our flat 200. Looks like she's going down, down, down. So I would try to, and this is the 15-minute. Well, shoot, I thought it was on a 5-minute. I bet it looks really bad on the 5. Yeah, see, we're just way down here. This is when you come back and you check out that 30-minute and your 1 hour. So we're still above the 200 here, barely. And on our 1 hour, tapping it and it's rolling. This isn't looking good. All of them show we are down to the 200. 200 is starting to roll over. And our shorter charts, we are already under the 200s, and all of the MAs are coming down. All of our oscillators on the last few charts have been falling. Our RSI is in the basement. Woo! Floor is 30. We're down here at 25. Freezing. Ice blue right now. So if you like this stock, I would put it on my watch list. I do like the way she's moving on the charts uphill. But right now, I'd be watching for a floor. I'd be looking for her to come down to somewhere about right there, actually. This is where I would think she would bounce, but she's going lower than that. Let me back this up. If I was need a little more space here, 168, right there. Yeah, 163. Oh, that's right there on the 200 as well. 163 looks like a place that she would drop to if she gets past this 168. I'd be looking for it to land there. We had a big look, all this upper stuff here. All this upper stuff is laying on this. All the under stuff is underneath it. That right there is a very serious line. I would look for an entry at around 161. And if she doesn't come under that, I would look for it to climb. She does look like she's ready to continue climbing. She has a lot of volatility. We got to expect some down activity when she's climbing up as well. How are we doing? That's it, right? What time is it? 5:49. Ay. Folks, I don't have time to do any more stocks. As sincere as I am about doing these, I never got that out of there. My bad. Shite. As sincere as I am about doing a lot of these stocks, I just can't seem to get through. But you got to realize 20 minutes. That's about what it takes, right? We're here at 5. That gives us 3, 4, 5. What is that? 5 or 6 stocks. Yeah. 5 20-minute periods. That's 10 minutes to talk about all the stocks information and news and filings, and 10 minutes to look at the chart. And maybe we could cut the chart down to 5 minutes. What do you think? You guys can give me some insight. Do I need to cut something out, or is there something I could not do that you wouldn't miss? Can I whittle something away? I need your help here, folks, because I want to cover more stocks. And without Taylor, without help, she used to cover the charts a little faster than me. And that used to give my voice time to rest. All right, folks, that is my time. I'm sorry I didn't get to any more of your tickers there. Sorry, Matthew. Why is that blue? Yours is dark blue over here for some reason. Deleted. Is that your real name? Deleted? It's a hell of a name there, buddy. Can you check CETX? I just looked at CETX. It's been dumping even after they mentioned they acquired another company. Oh, I haven't got time to look at CETX, but I'll tell you what, just for its and giggles, we'll look at the chart for CETX, making 6 o'clock the absolute latest. Looking at the chart, the 1-year chart for CETX. Well, she hasn't been doing much, has she? Now it says she's at 133 back here, $133. You can't see it. I gotcha. My bad. I gotcha. You're with me now, right? You're welcome. So that is CETX 1-year chart. $133 flat to $2.76. What? It's flat. Well, it obviously isn't. We have to zoom in. So, and she's coming down. I mean, look at that 200. She is coming out of the sky there. All right, see if we can open this up a little bit. I'm believing she must have had some reverse stock splits, right? I mean, I don't think that price is where it could be. I don't know of any reverse stock splits. So she has been falling continually. Gee whiz. Everything is coming out of the sky. Look at that 200. And let's come on down to our 4-hour. See if we can get some. I got to get rid of these lines. I just can't see what the hell I'm looking at. I got to get rid of these lines. Let's get rid of all of them. All right. So she has been in a serious downtrend. She has had a rip from $18, wow, to $38, wow. She then came hard down to 12 after hitting that 42. I mean, she ripped to 42 to 12. That's a $30 drop. She then worked her way back up to a falling 200. See, that's it. There's a perfect example, folks. Here's a falling 200. Now, it is not flat here. It is trying to go flat, but it is not flat yet. The stock broke through the 200 and decided to break out. You can't break out over a falling 200. There's rules in this game. Well, it decided it was going to break out. Now, it was doing it. There's no doubt about it. It was running for days here. I don't know how many days. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And then it got punished. It got pulled down. Last act of vengeance pushed up. This is beautiful. But then it rocketed down to the ground from 42 through the 200 all the way down to $11. That's the punishment. She started here at $20 and did not come down on time. You cannot stay up or else it's going to pull you down further than where you started. Perfect example. Worked her way back up. Let's get over there so we can see that. Worked her way back up to the 200. Here, it is finally climbing. We have a climbing 200, and she ain't doing jack diddly squat. I mean, we've got some bounces in there. This is great for a day trader, but for an investor, you're not happy. This should be pushing up and away from the 200. We're still climbing here when she's dipping under the 200. She's still climbing, and she's falling away. And then when she finally pushes up, the 200 just gives up and everything falls away. Everything all the way down to $2.50. And we are still falling right now. She is underneath every single MA. No hope in sight. Red volume. Everything pushing down. I can't tell you why she's falling on good news. Let's see if they show the news up here. For that stock, that is, yeah, that's stock. They're not showing any news here. I don't see any news. Oh, got to get the right color up there too. There. Semtrex to acquire Ivocon for $7 million. The deal which is subject to customary closing conditions, is expected to close January 1st. After the acquisition closes, the company plans to create a new aerospace defense reporting segment, aiding its expansion into advanced engineering for the U.S. government agencies. That sounds good. Shares of Cemtrex were down nearly 20% today. You're right. That don't make bloody sense at all. Let's see here. Shares of trailer. It also says here, more good news, and they're not going to tell us. You're going to have to look it up. It says that they announced today they have entered into a share repurchase program. So they're going to be buying shares back of this company's stock, which is going to give you more value. The less shares that are on the market, the more value you get for your shares, plain and simple. So you've got a merger, you've got share purchase going on, share repurchase going on, buyback program. That's all good news. So I would be looking for a buy-in opportunity or an average down opportunity, because these are two good pieces of news, unless there's something bad that I haven't gone through because we didn't do a real good DD there. Unless I'm missing something, this should come back, right? It should jump. That all sounds really good to me. All right, folks, that is it for me. I can feel my brain starting to fizzle. Haven't had any THC in a while. I am a chronic user, folks. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been using that stuff since I was 17. And now that it's legal, I use even more. Oh my God. I need to find a tip for my joints, because that's just too much freaking tar in my dang lungs. I will be here, folks. I will. My brain. I will be here next week, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Will I? Will I? Hold on. I don't think I will. Isn't next Thursday Thanksgiving? Right? Next Thursday's Thanksgiving. I think that's right. I'm a single man, and these things, I think I've got dinner going somewhere. I think so. I won't be here. I will. That was a chicken. I will not be here next week, so don't show up. You got better things to do too, right? Absolutely. But I'll be here the one after that. Thanks for your time, folks. Thanks for putting up with me. I love you, but then I don't have to hear you, do I? I'm telling you, somebody smells good. Get out of here now. I'm talking to me. I'm out of here. He's losing it, folks.